Hello and welcome to the eFresh.com Dairy News. My name is Kim and these are this week's headlines. Union blasts Fonterra plan. Fear for emissions scheme costs. Fonterra defends online auctions. Positive second quarter results Royal Ahold. Local dairy as good as import. New Zealand's waterfront workers and seafarers have savaged Fonterra's decision to drop Port Taranaki, warning it has the potential to rip the guts out of the port. The criticism comes from the Maritime Union, which is a trade union representing the interests of members of the former Waterfront Workers Union and the Seafarers Union. In a bombshell decision last week, the dairy giant said it would be railing Wairoa product to Auckland and Tauranga instead. At the same time, Fonterra also announced it intended bypassing the port of Tamaroo in favor of railing South Island export product to Lyttelton. Maritime Union General Secretary Trevor Hansen said these decisions made by Fonterra and major shipping companies were harming regional ports and their communities. An Australian dairy industry group wants the federal government to be more upfront about rising costs under its emissions trading scheme. The proposal was recently blocked in the Senate, but is expected to be before Parliament again later this year. Agriculture is expected to be initially exempt from the scheme. But Australian Dairy Farmers President Wesley Judd says other industries, which are not exempt, will pass on extra costs to farmers. He said they have very little ability to pass on the higher costs. What's lacking in the debate is a real cost to the consumer, the everyday man in the street who will wear higher costs. September 1st, when Fonterra holds another online auction of whole milk powder, looms as an important economic event. The last auction proved to be market-moving, pushing up the New Zealand dollar by a whopping US 1 cent. Exporters were unhappy, and farmers, despite seeing a 25% raise in average per ton price, carped again about the auction, which is suspected of driving down the value of dairy. Nigel Kuzumko, Fonterra's Director of Trade and Operations Commercial Strategy, is adamant the internet-based sales platform is not a market-moving mechanism in of itself. It was not as if the market did not have prior warning of an appreciation in milk prices. The prices of all commodities have stopped falling and some, such as sugar, have skyrocketed. However it plays out, price volatility will be a constant, he predicts. Netherlands-based food retailer Royal Ahold NV did better in the second quarter of 2009 than analysts had expected. Releasing its quarterly results, the food retailer said sales went up 11% in the second quarter. Net profit was €195 million, more than the €184 million expected by analysts, but a 42.3% drop compared with the same period last year. Operating profits were up 26% to €295 million year-on-year. Ahold emphasized last year's high net profit also included the €162 million gain related to the divestment of its former subsidiary, Schoutema. Sales increased 11.5% compared with the same period last year and stood at €6.43 billion. Vietnamese dairy products are as good as imported ones, experts and officials said when promoting domestic milk products. Organized by the Vietnam Standard and Consumer Association, or VNASTAS, the campaign aims to educate consumers so that they can buy milk products that meet quality and hygiene standards and are at reasonable prices. It also seeks to protect the consumer's rights since imported milk powders are 1.5 to 2.5 times more expensive than the same products produced in the country. 33 associations will encourage businesses to participate in the campaign to introduce their products to consumers in mountainous and remote areas through trade fairs. The country's fresh milk output only meets 28% of demand, the rest is imported. Thank you for watching the eFresh.com Dairy News. See you next time.